All right, I'm here with Coach Kenneth Royal, the first ever head track and field coach at the University of North Texas at Dallas. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And how have you been preparing, getting yourself ready, getting your assistants ready, and all that, getting ready for basically a brand new program?
Well, fortunately, I've been blessed with a lot of people reaching out to me. I have two assistants, and both of them reached out to me via email. So I met up with them, spoke with them. Like what they was doing. One of the guys, Reggie Henson, he graduated college this year. He attended Lancaster. Real fast sprinter, was on
Right.
those state championship teams back in 2012. Around that area. So
Oh yeah.
he's well connected with he kind of brings the younger side. I'm a little bit older, so he kind of helps me on the younger end, with the newer kids. Then the other lady, Miss Mary Foster, she's a volunteer throw coach, and she's been busy on the summer circuit as far as with the throws. Through in college at Louisiana Tech, very good thrower herself, very sound, technical. Because that's one of my biggest things as far as coaching. I'm big on technical teaching. To let the natural talent just take over. We just gonna teach you how to bring it out of you. So that's what I was looking for. As far as recruiting, luckily, right before the virus hit, I was able to get out to a couple of schools. I was able to get out to Samuel High School. I'm real good friends with Coach Moppin.
Hmm.
Also, Carter High School, real good friends with both of those coaches over there. Been knowing them back when they was at Pinkston at SOC before they came to Carter. So, through them, I was able to attend their practices, and I just started compiling a list of athletes. And then before you know it, the spring break hit, and we never went back. So that kind of got me a head start. And then after that, I just been kind of researching. A lot of coaches reaching out, throwing names to me, the kids is interested. So it's been kind of just, I want to say scatterbrain, but it's not the usual method I would prefer. But it seems to be working out right now for the circumstances.
Are there any events that you won't compete in the first year or so?
Probably the only events we won't compete in, the mostly it'd be the field events, just waiting on facility to get fully built. I
Hmm.
mean, we have a practice site, but I know with those field events, you need something on campus where it's more readily accessible. So we probably won't be doing. I know we won't be doing the hammer throw. Probably won't be doing the steeplechase. I kind of want to let some kids build up their strength for that. 10,000, we're gonna stay away from that. Maybe the 3,000, kind of just depends, but pretty much everything on down. 800, 1,500, all hurdles, sprints, jumps. Pretty much all the jumps we'll compete in at some point throughout the year. But moving forward, definitely gonna look to. Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna look. I'm definitely gonna have a full squad out there. Within the next 2 to 3 years.
Awesome. So where will you practice until your own facility gets built?
Track wise will be at Gateway High School. We already set up an agreement with
Okay.
them, so that'll be pretty much we'll have access to that. We got a time slot for that. Lifting weights, we're going to be utilizing Cedar Valley College. They're allowing us access to that. Then also, well, cross country, most of that's going to be on campus. We got about 100 acres back there, and it's
Oh
flat,
wow.
soft grass. So cross country, 90% going to be there. Looking at the past few weeks, I think with track, we might do 1 or 2 days there. It's probably most likely the Mondays, which is normally the harder day. So to kind of save the wear and tear on your feet, we're going to be
Right.
on the grass probably 2 days out the week,
Good.
initially at least, and then we'll get to the track, once we get to the technique work.
Will you have any say in the design of the new track facility?
I put my input. I don't know if I necessarily have final say. I gave them, my ideas, but what they showed me, I mean, I loved it. I mean, I really didn't see many changes that need to be made. They pretty much started out.
What's the time frame for a new facility?
I was told 3 to 5 years, but hopefully it could be anywhere sooner.
It's not too bad. Not too
No,
bad.
it's not. That's actually real good.
You mentioned your recruiting just a moment ago. So I went through, looked back through the Twitter feed, found about 18 names. You got kids like Jonathan Chavez, Luis
Yes,
Rios, Logan
yes,
Fisk, Trinity Bailey, Jayla
yeah,
Smith, Delilah Munoz,
yeah.
Sadaya Smith, et cetera, et cetera. When you look at this group
Mm-hmm.
and you put them out there on the track, first ever meet as a team, who do you suspect, who do you expect might just surprise you and
Well,
be a leader on this team, or just put forth some really good times or marks?
as far as surprising me, I don't think I'll be surprised as far as because I mean the kids that we're looking at. I mean to me, I think every last one of them within a 2 to 3 year time span can be All American. Be pushed within their prospective events.
Hmm.
But if I had to kind of single out a male or a female, I think that might kind of have a breakout year. I say on the women's side, I'm first thought I'm thinking Zajay Ridley, a young
Okay.
lady from. She's going to be a real good 800 runner. She ran the mile. She's real good in cross country, but I'm more going to focus on the 800 to 1500 because she has some foot speed. She has ran on their 4x4 team. She was a team captain. I mean, academic All-American. I mean, the young lady is very well rounded. So I'm looking for her to kind of step out. And on the men's side, we got a young man from Arlington, Sam Houston, Teron Blackman. Real good runner. I mean, he was great on their relays. They was running 41 seconds 4x1s. He was on the 4x4. He was actually leading off with 48 on the 4x4. And pretty much his first time running it. So I'm like, wow. Once he, really get a grasp of the quarter, how to, technically run it. I mean, I believe he can mess around and go 47, 46 real quick.
Nice. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Miss Ridley also your very first signee?
Absolutely. Dallas Lincoln, absolutely. It had to compete against, so crazy about it. Being at Madison, we're just a mile apart. The schools are literally
Right.
almost a mile apart. So we would see Lincoln, a different way. It was 4A. I was at a 3A school, but we would bump heads at the different, local meets. So I've been watching her run, pretty much for a while. So yeah, I'm really excited about her.
So with 18 plus in this recruiting class, when you go into a recruit's home and this is
Mm-hmm.
a brand new program, what do you tell them?
Well, what I'm telling them is, for one, it's a great opportunity. Fortunately, I was put in the same position when I was in college. The college I attended my freshman year, we was the very first program. So this is almost like deja vu for me all over again. So what I'm expressing to them, with the school being very affordable, that's the number one key. You're going to be able to get to a degree and not, wind up in $50,000-$60,000 debt, paying it off
Right.
to you for it. So to me, that's the number one goal. Get your degree and be able to start early, making a good living for yourself. And then when it comes to athletics, a lot of the kids, especially when it comes to track kids for whatever reason don't really look to leave, wherever they're from. It's kind of not like football or basketball. If you fast in track, you're gonna be fast wherever you go. So
True.
I'm letting them know, you can shine right here. Our motto is be a star in your own backyard, and that's really what we're trying to turn it into. So I'm selling on the familiarity, keeping the costs down. A lot of the
Hmm.
kids are choosing to stay at home and not live on campus, which is a luxury and a plus, going through college, understanding how that works. So I'm selling them on the city. I'm selling them on the affordability. And then, of course, the coaching that they're going to give. I consider myself one of the better coaches in Texas, high school, now moving to the college level. So they're going to
Hmm.
get quality training. We're going to be looking to win nationals year in and year out. That's a definite goal of mine.
Well, you've been a coach at Roosevelt. You were at Madison.
Yes, sir.
So from your high school positions, what have you learned now to make you a successful collegiate coach?
I say the number one thing is, besides kids having to trust that you know what you're doing. I mean, number one, when a kid comes to practice, especially dealing with the high school kids, they pretty much know right away if the coach knows what he's doing or not, if he's out there kind of winging it or if he has an actual plan in place. So that I think is going to help as well. And then, I mean, just having the team together, I mean, it's just an exciting time right now.
So what's your biggest challenge in starting a program?
I say right now, the challenge out of my hands is just the being shut in, not being able to. I mean, pretty much everything is email and over the phones right now. So just not being able to get out, face to face, meeting the kids, meeting the parents, building that relationship over a
Mm-hmm.
year or two time span. Right now, everything's kind of crash course. You know, I'm getting names, I'm calling them up. You know, I'm selling this program, selling them to school. You know, and you know, trying to get them excited about it. So I think right now, just matter of circumstances. You know, that's the biggest challenge.
So other than a digital meeting, have you actually met the entire team in person yet?
Nope. I can tell you, I met. I could probably count on 3 fingers the ones I got a chance to meet. You know, before we got shut in, and once they kind of eased the restrictions, I kind of just purposely like, you know, let me just kind of hold back because you know I don't want them to be uncomfortable. You know, a new person coming to your house. You know, I didn't know how everybody was feeling, so I'm just gonna kind of wait till we get the go ahead to bring everybody on campus, and then you know just move forward with that direction. But honestly, being on the phone, I mean, it's really the same excitement. I can hear it in their voices when we're texting back and forth. You know, they're excited about it. So it really hasn't dampened it a lot. I mean, we pretty much got the team together pretty quickly. Now it's just a matter of, now it's the problem we're running into now, getting the transcripts sent over, getting in touch with the counselors, you know, getting
Right.
fees and whatnot. So other than that, everything else been pretty much kind of a go.
So let's look ahead. When you finally get the team together and you're all in one room, whether it's the weight room, a training room, dining room, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to address them? Give me a taste of that first speech with your first gathering.
Well, the first gather, I mean, for one, I like to build excitement. You know, I like the team to be excited. I'm a track guy. I mean, I'm gonna be out there 24 hours a day if I can. You know, I'm excited about it. So my speech to them is gonna be like, you know, take advantage of this opportunity. You know, this is for one, you're coming into a brand new program. Everybody running is gonna have a chance to set the school record. So your name is gonna be, it's gonna be in the books automatically. I mean, whoever if I got 300-400 meter runners. Okay, whoever win this race, your name going in the book. So I can kind of use that as a motivator. But you know, my thing is letting the kids have fun. You know, it's still a business. I mean, bottom line, whether we win nationals or y'all American, if you're not graduating in 4 years, it wasn't a 100% success. So I'm leaning on the educational part because from experience, you know, your track is going to stop at some point. You know,
Right.
it might have your 1 or 2 lucky ones that get to go professional, you know, but just being realistic, 99%, you know, once we finish in college, you know, we move on to the next stage of our life. So, you know, I'm going to get them excited about that. I also want to get their mind thinking, you know, as far as profession once they get out of college. So it's going to be a lot going on. I can tell you. It's going to be a lot out there that first.
So talk to me about the Sooner Athletic Conference. You've got Texas Wesleyan,
Yeah.
Southwest Assemblies of God,
Yes.
who's also like you, signing a lot of kids over the last couple of weeks. In fact, they hired another coach today, or over the last couple of days, David Cox out of Waxahachie.
Okay.
Wayland Baptist, Oklahoma City.
Right. Very competitive.
I was just going to say, talk to me about your conference.
Well, I mean, with the conference, and the crazy part about it, I had a girl from Roosevelt. I don't know if you remember Tiana Owens. She won
Uh-huh.
state in the 300 hurdles. She just graduated from Wayland Baptist this past December. Can you believe that? The kid I potentially could have been coaching against her, you know, as a college coach now. So that was kind of odd to me. But I mean, with the conference, I like one thing we liked about it. I mean, it's a lot of local schools as far as Texas Wesleyan. You know, we can kind of try to build some type of rivalry, you know, healthy rivalry, nothing, you know, that's going to get out of hand, but just that competition locally where we don't have to, you know, spread out too far, you know, to get great competition. Because, I mean, if you just look in Texas alone from the high school up, I mean, this is one of the best states when it comes to track and field. So the Sooner Athletic, I think that's going to give us a chance to come in and have some immediate success within the first 2 or 3 years and be able to get kids to the regional meet, to the national championship meet and so forth.
Yeah, it's true what you say. It's amazing the depth of talent that's in Texas. If some of our local colleges would just realize that and recognize you don't have to get number 1 and 2. You can get the 7-8 kid and still build a very good program.
I mean, especially looking at schools like a Lancaster or DeSoto. Yeah. I mean, girls and kids that might be on their B team, JV teams, you know, they could go anywhere else and probably be a state champ, but just based on the numbers, they're not getting that opportunity. So I'm definitely, I'm not leaving no stone unturned. That's where the hidden gems are at.
Now, your background is a sprinter hurdler, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
All right. So, how are you going to bring your, let's call it speed background,
Uh-huh.
into all of your events,
Well,
regardless of who's coaching them?
Well, with the speed of, I mean, that goes back to the technique part of it, with the drills that we're going to be doing, with the different lifts that we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
The workouts I provide for, it's going to bring out, their natural speed. I mean, once your form is right, and a lot of stuff, pretty much everything I use, I can show them from experience. I remember coming out of high school, I made it to state, ran pretty good in high school. And I'm thinking, I got great running form, all this and that. And then,
Right.
get to college, my coach tell me, look, why don't you run with your hands this way? And just that one change in my hands from closed to open, I mean, it just made a huge difference. Another thing I like to utilize, I like to film the kid, because me,
Mm-hmm.
myself, once I saw myself on tape, now you see, in your mind, you thinking, okay, coach said run like this. Okay, I'm doing it, coach. But once you see it on tape, okay, that's what I look like. Okay, let me fix that. So I like them to see themselves. And one drill that I'm big on in the weight room, I give away one of my secrets. I like to have the kids get a 5-pound weight in each hand. And then we stand in front of the mirror and we just almost marching, using your running form, working
Right.
on technique. You can, like I say, when you're in the mirror watching yourself, you can see if your hand's coming too high, if it's coming, your elbow coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm big on, visually seeing yourself, and we'll just do different sets working on running. Plus, that's another way to lift weights while you can kill two birds with one. I'm fixing your form at the same time we're getting our shoulders strong, because you got these 5-pound weight, and you move your arms for 60 seconds at a time, 4 to 5 reps. So it's another way to ease in another workout without having to strain yourself, work that aerobic muscle and, get that endurance going with your body.
Excellent. So you ran high school, successful there. You ran in college, California Baptist?
Yes, sir. Riverside.
Okay. And so who are some of your influences that as you go through your collegiate season, you can just almost hear these influences in the back of your head?
I can tell you off top, Coach Potter, who recruited me to California Baptist, Coach Whiteley, who was my high school coach, and Coach Washington. I mean, with Coach Washington, his big thing, we got in trouble. You had 50 heels off top, no matter what.
Uh-oh.
So I can always hear that voice. You got 50 heels, Roy. So stuff like that with Coach Whiteley, he was a big motivator. His thing that I like to draw off of before practice. And I like to call them fireside chats, kind of like how back in the day, I mean, he would just get us so fired up in the locker room before we even get to practice. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So I kind of try to, use my own personality. I'm not as outspoken as Coach Whiteley was, but within my personality, I try to get the excitement going, build it up, little challenges to themselves. You think you can beat this kid from Wayland Baptist, they got you last time. What you gonna do this week? So, try to get self-motivating. And then on top of that, you just got to know your kids. You got to know what's going to push them. Everybody's different. Some need to be pushed. Some, want to be left alone. I had kids that said, Coach, when I'm running, I don't want nobody to say nothing to me. So I wouldn't even, she didn't want you to encourage her, push on or nothing, because it would just kind of distract her. So with that kid, I just had to hold my tongue and just watch her. But I mean, you just got to get to know your kids and know how to push each one button, because everybody's different. It's no cookie cutter to coaching high school. I mean, not high school, coaching track, period.
So are there hills near your campus? Because it sounds like there's going to be some hill work in the future.
If there's not, we're going to find them. I can guarantee you that. We're going to find the hill.
You can come 20 minutes north into Dallas off of Northwest Highway, Flagpole Hill.
Flagpole Hill, what's that by? I'm trying to think.
It's off of Northwest Highway.
Going east or west?
East Dallas.
Okay. Northwest Highway. Okay.
Northwest Highway in Buckner.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Got all the soccer fields not too far away.
Right. Okay, that's kind of Pleasant Grove area, if I'm thinking correctly.
It's north of that.
Okay, well, yeah, wherever it's at, definitely I'm going to find it. And one thing I'm going to make note, when we do get to building the track, trust me, that extra dirt is not going to go to waste. I'm going to have about 4 or 5 different hills built, short, long, medium, downhill, you name it. I'm going to have a whole little section with it. So yeah, hills is definitely part of the program.
Beautiful. I love it. Excuse me. Now there is, just changing topic a little bit, there is a speaker series coming to your university, and I commend your university. It's called the Speaker Series on Coping, Changing,
Right.
Community, and Growth. Will
Right.
you be part of this? Will you attend any? Will your athletes?
Well, I won't be a part of as far as a speaker, but I will try to catch at least 1 or 2 sessions. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I want to stay abreast of everything that's going on. I like to be as far as with the school and the program, same with high school. I think the more you're involved within everything going on, you can't have yourself in a bubble and just stay with whatever sport you're coaching. You got to get out there. You got to listen. You may not necessarily be a speaker, but your presence there, listening, you might have an idea or two, you might get an idea or two, that'll help along with, within your team itself. So if I can't attend all, which I know I probably can, I'm gonna definitely try to tune in and catch at least 1 or 2 of them, and just to be abreast of what's going on within the community and within the campus.
Beautiful. You mentioned relationships just a minute ago, and that the relationships with your athletes, especially the first time with them, is going to be vital to the long-time success of your program. You have 5 children of your own.
Right.
So how has fatherhood prepared you for this collegiate position?
I say pretty much coaching high school is almost like raising. It's almost like every year I had 50 extra kids, on my payroll. I just wasn't able to claim them on my taxes because, at the high school, you have to give rides home. You might have to pick some up. Kept food in my office for them days. Kids might need something to snack on or whatever. So, just through that, it's shown me how to have, for one, you got to show kids grace. They're going to fall down, once, twice. You can't just push the kid away because they messed up one time, because for one, I remember, I'll give you a quote I got from basketball coach at SOC years ago. I don't even know if you remember he said it, but I remember we were speaking one day. He was like, you know what, you got to show the kids the same grace that we were shown at some point. And it kind of hit me. I'm like, wow, I just got to thinking back. Yeah, I messed up several times in college, and I was thankfully welcomed back onto the school, welcomed back onto the team, whatever happened. So I just took that and ran with it. Like, you know what, we can't push these kids away after they first mess up. We just got to deal with it, correct it, and keep teaching them how to do better the next time. And it may take 2 or 3 times. Every kid's not perfect. We don't know what their home situation is like. We don't know what they're going through personally. So we can't look at everybody to be 100%, because we weren't 100%. So that's one of the main things. If you just show them grace and they know that you truthfully care about, their well-being and seeing them successful, it's a gold mine for you. It's easy.
Will you have an indoor season?
This year we won't compete at the national level, but we will run some indoor meets. I haven't put the outdoor and indoor schedule together yet, but off top, I know we're going to run the Houston meet. I think that's like the 2nd or 3rd week of January. We're definitely going to hit that one. Budget-wise, if we can get to the LSU meet, want to get to that one. I know A&M has one. So this first year, I'm kind of trying to stay as close as possible. Once we get the budget more set, I'll be able to kind of span out. But indoor, probably do 2 to 3 indoor meets. Then we'll transition to outdoor. The big meets for outdoor, definitely going to do Texas relays. We can get up to Oklahoma. I like to get to the John Jacobs. We used to compete in that when I was in high school. And I'm pretty sure they still have it. So those are, be the 2 big out-of-town meets that I want to try to hit.
Now, the pandemic did not shut your program down, obviously.
Right.
But it's funny when you talk to a lot of coaches or athletes, all of a sudden, because of the pandemic, they've learned new skills they never thought they had. So what have you learned, not only about yourself, but have you done anything over the last couple of months that perhaps you weren't expecting to? You learned how to bake or something like that?
Well, I mean, honestly, I pretty much been laying low, Doc. I'll be honest with you. I get up, go through my routine, hit these phones, get on this computer, emailing. So as far as out of the norm, my routine pretty much ain't changed. I mean, I think I might be a better cook than I thought I was before. So I've been finding myself cooking more, being at the house more. But now I haven't really much did anything new. I mean, it kind of been business as usual for me. I'm pretty much a homebody anyway, so this really hasn't affected me much at all.
Fair enough. All right, last question. You're getting ready. It's the first track meet. What can we look for? How do we know what will be your stamp on this program? How are we going to be able to leave that track meet and say, that is UNT-Dallas right there?
Competitiveness, finishing each race, the just being humble about yourselves, going about your business. I mean, I'm not a rah-rah type of coach. I'm more, I'm gonna have fun. I want them to have fun, but we want to take care of business. When we come to a meet, this is a business trip. Every track meet, whether it's in Fort Worth, whether we're going to Houston, every trip we go on, it's a business trip. So we're gonna conduct ourselves, in that type of fashion. And when we leave the meet, people gonna be saying, that was a good hard racing. We're gonna shake hands after the races. We're gonna introduce ourselves. I'm gonna encourage the kids, get out and meet these other people, because when everybody graduate, you never know, that guy you was running against at Wayland Baptist may be somebody who's hiring you at a job in the next 2 years or so.
It's a good point.
So you gotta build out, you gotta get out, meet these people, get these relationships, because you never know when it's gonna come in hand, 10, 15 years down the road. So that's kind of where I'm at. We want to be well-rounded, well-respected, show a lot of respect, and just have a good meet every time we're out.
Well, it certainly looks like UNT-Dallas made the right hire. I like your enthusiasm. I love the fact that you keep coming back to the idea of building relationships, because it's what's going to carry them long after they graduate.
Oh, you got to believe that. We both know that as long as we've been living. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Coach Raw, I appreciate you giving up a half hour out of your day, because you probably want to get back on the phones, talk to some recruits or your own children in the house. Best of luck this year, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh, yeah, and I thank you for reaching out to me. It really just caught me off by surprise. A lot of this, is new to me. In high school, we're not doing a whole lot of interviewing. I like to stay in the shadows, let the kids get all the shine. So I thank you for this opportunity. And now, is this going to be something that's posted on your website, or where is it going to go from here?
I will post it on YouTube in a
Okay.
little while and send it out on Twitter. I will copy you on, tag you on Twitter.
Okay, sounds good.
I appreciate it, sir. You have a wonderful day.
All right, you too. Nice meeting you today.
Thank you, sir.
All right.